We're a couple episodes into this new season of Legacies. Where do we pick up with the Salvatore School and with Caleb?
Okay, so we start out, we find out that, we've just ended on Landon isn't Landon. Landon is taking over Malivor's taking over Landon's body. And we have him trapped in this cage. And obviously, Cleo and Landon are still stuck in whatever hell dimension they're in. And we can't find him. We don't know how to get to him. And so in the first episode, we find out that they try to pull this trick on him and do a double head dive, which is really brilliant. I did watch the preview last week, and I was like, that actually came out really cool. And Dr. Softman and Caleb go in, and then MG and Hope go in. One occupies the conscious mind, one occupies the subconscious. But leading into Caleb, when they go into his conscious mind, into Malivor's conscious mind, he brings up a memory of Caleb that he doesn't have anymore, that he was so traumatized, pushed it back. That the night that Dr. Saltzman found him, he went on a feeding frenzy. And Dr. Saltzman never told him. And he's trying to teach him this lesson that, listen, I'm not telling you to be a liar, but sometimes the truth is it's really about the timing. And it can do more harm than good in a lot of cases. So it's this beautiful, moral, ethical, lesson that, it's been a theme through the whole show, but I think they really hit it home on that first episode. And then going into the next one, I believe that's, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're shooting so many, and then so many are airing at the same time, so I don't want to mess up the story. But after that happens, I know we haven't, that's the thing. Yeah, we lied to Hope and didn't tell her that we did, in fact, see Landon. So the plan is to still get Cleo. And, Caleb is in this position where he's really trying to, now he's joined what Dr. Sussman calls the Lonely Hearts Club. You know what I mean? And he's trying to figure out, how do I maintain this leadership and stick with, Alaric and try to, do the best thing for the squad while still rescuing this person, caring for them, keeping my friends around. So it's a lot going on. It gets pretty crazy, and everybody's involved in a heavy way. You got, this thing going on with Finch and Josie that's very, very real. And Finch is just dying to get Josie to let her in and not to scare her away. And Lizzie's getting jealous of that. Don't lose your sister. And it's a lot going on.
And Caleb realized he does have feelings for Cleo. What was the driving force that changed his mind?
I think that he always knew he had feelings. And as time went on, he we saw last season, he definitely wants to be something with her. I think the thing that held him back was that the last time all we know is the last time that he fell in love with someone, he ended up turning into a vampire. So again, he's just dealing with a lot of trauma. He's dealing with a lot of, he holds that kind of emotion back, and he has since we first met him. He's never been involved with anyone. And that is all due to the fact that he just wants to kind of stay away from it, be a good friend, be a good person, work on himself, not be a monster. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be a monster. Dealing with being a vampire alone is a lot for him. And so I think that he was just holding back a lot of feelings out of not only protection for the people around him, but for himself. He's trying to figure himself out and trying to trust, being open with another individual. But Cleo's amazing to him. Cleo's the new hot witch, and she's a muse. And there's a lot going on there. So I think he always had an eye for her from the very beginning.
I love that Caleb and MG are partnered up so much. You guys are kind of partners in crime while still saving the world superhero style. Yeah. What makes them such BFFs?
I think that at the very beginning, they are our two resident vampires that in the super squad. So from the very beginning, I think Caleb saw a thing in MG that he both admired and was jealous of. And that was his heart, MG has just a golden heart that just always wants to do the right thing and typically does. He typically makes the better decision, the less selfish decision. With that being said, at the beginning, Caleb felt like that went against his vampire nature. And so he wanted to take him under his wing, not to corrupt him, but to really, kind of be a big brother, you know what I mean? And in turn, he learned that he was kind of the little brother and learned so much from MG. And so now there's this responsibility that Caleb feels toward MG after he pushed him to, kind of show the Ripper that he is and pushed him to feel the things he wants to feel and justified every selfish action that MG has. He's now kind of like, all right, it's my responsibility to like protect this guy, to make sure he's okay, to make sure he's good, and be his friend and listen to all these sob stories about Lizzie and whoever, and help him out through it. So I think, outside of being the two Black vampires, like they just they really are just very attached to each other. They're very much just believing in the other one and having the other one's back. And it's been such an issue when one hasn't had the other one's back. And we'll see more of that coming up as well.
They're kind of blood brothers in a way, is what I like to refer to them.
That's exactly what it is.
I love the scenes that you do share with Quincy, but were you hoping to maybe share some scenes this season with some other people that you haven't worked with as much in the past?
Let's see. Season 3, I got to share some scenes with Jenny, who plays Lizzie, and that was always really fun. We always had a really, really fun dynamic, and we just saw a little bit of that again in this last episode at the picnic movie night, and that was really fun. I going into this season, I do want more scenes with Arya, plays Landon. He's a good friend of mine, first of all, and I think he's a terrific actor. And maybe it's just because I know him and we have a lot of fun anytime, the little times like that, that whole thing on the premiere, the first episode of the season, where he's, Malivore is taunting Caleb into, remembering this thing. That was such a fun day, and a fun couple of days, and it just came out so well. And so I think I really want to do more scenes with Arya. I'd love to do more scenes with Leo, who plays Ethan. He's a good friend now too. Both of those guys are really great, really fun. And off screen, we just have a lot of fun together. But what you will see is a lot more of me and Ben, who plays Jed. You're gonna see a lot of that this season, like a ton of their dynamic, and just they've had a very interesting like cousin vibe throughout the whole show. They've been like the cousins that like have to get together because the aunties and uncles are all hanging out, and they just kind of have to be there. And so they'll like each other, hate each other, like each other, hate each other, compete with each other, but need each other and be family. And you'll see I don't want to give too much away, but they have a lot of fun, and we learned a little bit more about Jed, which is really awesome. And Ben is a friend of mine. I love working with him. So yeah, I asked Caleb get to do some cool dynamic stuff this season. And man, Caleb's got a story that's really, really cool this season. Yeah, I think you'll find out next Thursday. Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. Was I loved the scenes in Malivore where Caleb was exploring that memory that he had suppressed, and you just touched on it, that we'll be seeing next episode. I was going to ask, what were some episodes fans should look out for this season, but it sounds like the next one is the biggest for Caleb coming up.
Yeah, it's just something happens to him that will change the course of his life for the entirety of the show. Like next Thursday something happens and you see it develop over the next 2 episodes, and to him figuring out what it is. And then after that, when we get in around episode 5 for you guys, you see him dealing with it and exploring it and figuring out what it means for the rest of his life. But it is a new thing. It is a brand new thing for the show. It is a brand new thing for Caleb, and it's huge. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, look out.
Is there some sort of storyline that you would love to explore for Caleb someday in the future?
I want to go back to the day he turned. Most importantly, I think that's the day I'm really interested and really looking forward to. And we may get into that this season. I don't know for sure. I know they want to do a lot of backstory stuff for Caleb in the episodes coming. So we'll see. But I definitely want to see the day he turned and how it happened, and connect that to why he was the way he was with Cleo. You know what I mean? And going into it, why he is the way he is, just as a vampire. I almost said human being, as a vampire. And yeah, I'm really excited for that, and to just see where he, if he's gonna sabotage this relationship he has with her, if he's gonna develop it at all, if it's like where it's gonna go. I mean, I know, but a little bit, but I can't wait for you guys to see, and I can't wait to explore more of it going forward.
Speaking of Cleo being a muse, and you do your own music as well, who are some of your musical influences?
Oh my God, that's a crazy question, because I mean, I have so many.
How much time do I have is what the question should be.
I had to lock it down just a little bit. I mean, everybody. I mean, Stevie Wonder is probably my number one influence in the world. I love Stevie. Prince, Michael, those are like, I feel like they're in my top 5, of all time. I love John Mayer. I love Rascal Flatts. I love Queen. Now I'm just hopping around different genres. Isn't that fun?
I was just going to say, quite diverse.
Yes. I love Nat King Cole. I love Ray Charles. When I think about the music that I make, I love the Bee Gees. I love, decade music. I love like 90s, 80s. I love Motown music, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations. I mean, I have so many influences. I love music so much. It really comes from everywhere. Like Johnny Cash, Hank Williams. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on.
Do you have any plans for a full album or EP in the future?
Yes, I do. I've dropped an EP and an album and like 4 or 5 singles. And I'm about to drop another single, I believe, in November. And probably one more in January, and then drop an album around March or April of next year. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be some music coming, music videos and features and a bunch of fun stuff. So please, yes, be on the lookout for Chris Lee's music.
Have you been busy working on any other projects outside of Legacies and your music?
Yeah, excuse me. Yes, I have been working on a few for friends, a few things that are in the works that I can't really speak about, different like theater things and film things. And then I've been working on a script with a partner of mine that's really, really cool, really good. I cannot talk about it. I wish I could, because it really is really good. But yeah, working on a lot of things. And then just my personal life as well. I just recently got engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My beautiful fiance, who's amazing, perfect, and never does anything wrong. And she has 2 beautiful kids that I love so much. And so I've really been, when I'm not working or working on other projects, I'm spending time with them. So yeah, life is good. I really can't complain. And the show's doing well. And yeah, I'm excited.
What do you think it is about Legacies that continues to make it just such a fan favorite series year after year?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because when you're not really sure when you're making it. You make something and you decide, all right, this makes sense to us. Hopefully people like it, and then they do, and then they don't stop liking it. And that's the thing in this industry, man. You never know. It's always hit or miss. I think it really depends on like the world need of that kind of show at the moment. You know what I mean? I guess right now, the world and consumers need a show like Legacies that is attached to this universe that we know and love, first and foremost. That's definitely more lighthearted and a lot of like fun, a little campy, like just a lot of fun, and then has those dark, real moments. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it tells fun stories. It's supernatural, so it takes us out of our world immediately. And it's got great characters. It's got, everything about the show just works because of, the top down, you know what I mean? From Julie and Brett all the way down, producers and to the cast and the crew, everyone comes to make it great. And so I think when everyone has that attitude and is really trying hard to make it the best it can be, it's hard to ruin it once people sign off on it. And I think that it's just got a spirit about it that leaves you wanting more. Every time you watch an episode, you want to see the next one. And that I think we're great at that. We're great at, leaving you in suspense and telling a story that's interesting enough for you to like want to just binge it and you can't wait till the next week, you know, that type of thing.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the work you do, whether it's on screen or musically?
What would I like to say to my fans? Oh my gosh, please don't go away. I love you so much. Without you, that there's no me. And I stand on that and I appreciate that. No, thank you to everyone who follows me on, you know, social media, follow my career, who knows like how I started and where I ended up. It's a, you know, if you know me, you know, it's a crazy story. And I'm blessed to have been a part of like very potent, beautiful projects. And I hope to continue to do the same. And I just want to do good work in the world and on the camera. And so thank you so much.